everybody. Welcome to another edition of the 13th Dimension. My name is Jeremy York, founder of Things, and here's Scotty.
Oh, how is everybody doing tonight?
How is everybody? How you doing, Scott?
For the most part, doing pretty good. How about you, brother?
Doing all right. Just a little wet. Just got out of the shower. Had to rush home from work, get in the shower, and then get in here.
Right. You know, wish I was there with you, but not the shower part. You know,
that'd be a little awkward, wouldn't it?
A little bit, a Sasquatch and a dwarf. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Twins. Danny DeVito.
Twins, absolutely.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm excited, my man. Absolutely excited.
I'm excited too. This is going to be a very, very good show. And I think this one here is, I think this one here is going to strike a nerve, but in a good way, though.
Absolutely. I mean, Courtney's such a great person. And the thing that we're going into and we're talking with her is just, it's so good and informative, you know. I mean, yeah, especially if you want to get in the paranormal field.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely correct. So before we get started, I would like to go ahead and talk about some events that are coming up. Tomorrow in Peru, Indiana, is the annual Okefenokee Ghost Hike that is hosted by Jeff and Hope of the Truth Seekers Paranormal Investigations, and also by the Shadow Seekers Paranormal, which is headed up by Corey Snetz. They are asking for anybody. It's free to the public, and they're asking for anybody that wants to join them on this ghost hike to meet them at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at the Burger King at on North Broadway Street. Again, this is free to the public. Anybody can come. Also, the Wilson Castle, which is going to be having a very special event on the 24th of October from 7 p.m. to midnight, which is an investigation. Open to the public, $75 per person. But if you want to go for the VIP overnight, then that'll be $125 a person. And there will also be some workshops during the day with Jason Baker. He has a photography business, and he will be doing a workshop for $50 a person from 1 to 3, and then from 3 to 5. And they will have a bunch of special guest investigators. And I hadn't been able to get a hold of Matt, so I don't know if the event is sold out or not. But as of last week, it was halfway sold out, and they only had 3 VIP spots left. You can get your tickets at Eventbrite. And also, what is it? Yeah, on Fridays and Saturdays, every weekend of October in Decatur, Indiana, is the Haunted Decatur Walking Tours, which is hosted by Max Miller. And the tickets are $10 a person, and there will be 2 each night, one at 7 p.m. and one at 8:15 p.m. Each of the walking tours are an hour long. And they will be featuring stories not only in Decatur, but also Bern, Geneva, pretty much around the Adams County area.
Dude, that's pretty awesome.
It is. I've done the wagon rides the last, I don't know how many years. I've done it every year except for the very first year. And obviously I won't be able to go this year. But I've done it every year, and there's always something new added to the event. So what about you, Scott?
Oh, you know, just the same old, being short, good looking, you know. Hi, Steven. Hi, Paranormal United Network. Hi, Tara. Hi, Michelle. Just want to say hi to everybody. So, and that, you know, just loving it, man. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but Dude, it's gonna be a great show, dude.
Yes, it is. So, what do you say we go ahead and bring our special guest tonight?
Absolutely. Let's bring Courtney on.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Trinity Paranormal Investigations of Long Island, Courtney Peterson.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hey,
Courtney. How
hey.
you doing?
How's everybody tonight?
Doing all right. We're doing
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Thanks for inviting and asking me to be on the show.
Oh, thank you for accepting. We've been wanting to get you on our show for quite a while. Well, it's only the second episode, but you get the point.
That's what I told her earlier.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you accepted.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I am so nervous. I am like camera shy. I never do. This is actually the first time ever doing this, so bear with me, and that's it.
It's going to be just fine. People are going to want to hear your stories.
No, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I feel like I need a booster seat.
So, so basically, I'm going to cliche question. How did you get into this? How did you discover this?
I would say for 17 years, I would hear my name be called, like screamed out when I would be sleeping. It'd wake me up out of a sound sleep. And it was in my best friend's voice that I live with. So I would go to her room, check, make sure she's okay, and she would be sleeping. Nobody else is there, and I'd wake her up. She'd tell me, no. She's like, I was sleeping. I was like, you just screamed my name. She was like, no, not at all. So this happened, like I said, for 17 years. And she always told me, don't talk about it because people are going to think you're crazy. You're hearing things. And so I didn't really talk about it much. I joined my first paranormal group. I happened to see it accidentally, actually. And it was Paranormal Hauntings. And I was scrolling, and the paranormal always interested me. I always liked the movies, but so much different than what it really is in real life. And so I remember hearing somebody posted a question: have you ever heard your name being called out? Nobody's there. And I was like, wow. I was like, for the first time, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. Like, I guess this is a thing. And so I was talking to people and in the group, and then they're saying it is real. Many people, and people were going back and forth. And at around this exact same time, friends of mine, Kat, Phil, Martha, they and Chris joined a little after beforehand, but this before I even joined. But they were like, we are paranormal investigators. And I was like, what? I had no idea. And that's when I just joined the group. And I always supported them because I saw their passion for what they do, for wanting to help spirits, want to help clients. But I didn't want to be an investigator. I did not want to be an investigator. That was not. And so I just would help. I would support. I would share. I remember when I first joined the group and, looking over things, and somebody had told me, well, you should get an EVP recorder and check and see if you can get an EVP of what's going on. And I'm like, I remember going to Kat and Phil, and I'm like, what's an EVP? And it's so funny. Like the beginning, I had no knowledge. I didn't know anything, and so it was great. Like people were helping. In things uh, between Misty and Tim, they were so helpful. Like they encouraged me to ask questions because I was afraid to ask questions. I'm like, they're going to sound silly. They're going to be stupid. Why ask them? And I remember Phil had said to me one time, there's no such thing as stupid questions. The stupid thing is not asking the questions. And, which made sense because how am I going to know if I don't ask? How is anybody going to know if they don't ask? And so that was it. Eventually, I would say maybe a year later, they had asked me to be a moderator of the group, and I was nervous. I was like, I don't know what to say. I didn't want to screw anything up. I was never a moderator. I don't know what to do, and they were like, we have faith in you. You'll be great. You'll do great. And so that's how I became moderator. And that's when I officially joined the team. But still, I was hesitant of investigating, and then I don't know, just I guess from learning everything that I've learned. And actually, it's one of the documentaries that we're going to be doing. We were listening over to EVPs and listening over to, communication between spirits and I was like, I want to help. Like instead of be done listening to a bunch of EVPs or, from communication from the spirit box or anything like that, after I was done, I would feel so sad. And I wanted to help. I wanted to do something. I wasn't like, oh, excited. Oh, I got this. Oh, it's fun. Like to me, it was sad. Like, and what can I do to help? I can't guarantee that I'm going to, but I can be there to listen. And that's really it. That's my beginnings.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you ended up being on a great team. I mean, we have things we just love Trinity, all of you guys. We really do.
Thank you. We love you
Yeah,
guys too.
they're such a great team. I mean, I know Jeremy and and Tim and some of the other guys from Things Paranormal have had a chance to investigate with them. I have not yet, but just talking to that group, man. I mean, you guys are just so amazing, and the support that you give all the paranormal teams is just awesome, man. It really is.
Thank you. What I believe is that we're all in this together,
Yes.
and together we can make a difference. For myself, there's no ego. It's not who's sharing my stuff, who's doing this. I do it because I want to. I do it because people deserve support. I do it for the new person coming around that they don't feel alone, and that somebody's
Oh,
there,
absolutely.
to support them and build them up. We all started out at one member at a time, and to be able to help and show and build groups for me, like it's awesome. Like when I see some groups where they had 400 members when they first started, and like a year later now they have like 4,000. you know it's amazing.
Yes, it is.
And it's not me, it's everybody. Like I said, we're all in this together. I can only do my part, and but even just putting it out there can help, and everybody together can do it. And it just works. Like I have this thing, that I do. It's like the paranormal, para unity train. And I would do to promote a group. I would just look at groups online, even if I didn't even know or interact with them. I mean, I met a couple of really nice people that way. I would just scroll down, look up paranormal groups and scroll. I'll be like, oh, this group is close to 1,000 members. Okay, I'm going to post them. Let's try to build them up. And, I just like supporting everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, from my view, you've been doing a wonderful job doing that. Everybody loves you. I haven't heard one bad thing about you. It's
Thank
always.
you.
I'm
It's a good
not
thing.
lying. I'm telling you, everybody just loves how you do what you do. You are,
They love you to death.
yeah, you are such a great ambassador to the field, in my opinion.
You absolutely
Thank
are.
you.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you.
you're welcome.
And if you heard bad things about you, he would tell you because he's heard a lot of bad things about me.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
A lot of big little things, but yeah.
Little things. Thanks.
Well, got to get that joke in there somehow.
I appreciate it.
Well, it's either that or mention the leprechaun again. So
Maybe it's just little tidbits, right? Little tidbits.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you've been with everything that you're learning, what has been the hardest part about trying to learn everything?
I guess the hardest part is, people always say, come ask me, if you need help, reach out, anything. And I haven't had anybody turn me down. But the thing a lot of times they would say is get a book. Okay. How is that going to help me when just for myself, first of all, I hate reading. I hate reading, but I think more so is because I have a learning disability where it's hard, not easy to comprehend reading and then having it just sinking and no, like a regular, say like, chapter or even a couple of paragraphs, I would have to read 5 times. A normal person would read 1 time. Like I wouldn't get it in. And it frustrates me because I'm like, well, how am I going to learn if I don't know? If get a book and from there, I know I'm not going to do it. So what I did was, I just decided to pick topics for myself that I learned about, that I heard about. And I started writing, I took a notebook and I just started writing things in there. It's like I call it my, cliff notes to the paranormal. And, I looked up different types of equipment and wrote, and looked up the different types of equipment. What to do on an investigation before, after, during. Speaking to some people that would, my team has been very helpful, but, I had to do this kind of for myself. This is the way it's going to work for me is if by writing it down, it sinks in more. And also I'm able to, if I'm trying to remember something, I'll be like, okay, instead of finding where is that book, I have it in my notebook and that where I can just get to and it's right there. It's been fun. I've definitely been learning. I can definitely say that things I didn't know, things I thought I knew that I didn't know. And that's like the best thing is nobody, and from what I was always told, nobody is always, anyone's not going to know everything.
No.
And that's like a beauty of it in a way, because we're going to be constantly learning and constantly trying to find out what things are and why they're happening, and I don't know, I guess that was the hardest in the beginning, to finding out about it.
Yeah, trying to read a book and on some things, and it is even for myself to read and try to comprehend some things. There's just some things I cannot pick up. I mean, and if I'm not into a book like completely, I totally lose focus and I cannot concentrate on that. So I definitely know that feeling to just try and read. And like you said, things are always changing, whether it's technology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of technology out there now that I don't even understand. I'm still old school with a digital voice recorder and a camera, and then I get with people like Jeremy York and Tim Coomer and some of the other guys, and the equipment just is. I'm in awe, and I'm like, man, I don't even want to touch that. How does that work? They're like, turn it on. I'm like, how you do that?
Yeah.
I can also relate in some ways. Sometimes it doesn't always take me the first time to read something for it to actually, get it in here. I'm more of a hands-on learner. So I need to actually do something in order to learn it, not necessarily read about it. Like you guys said, it's always changing. It's ever changing. Nothing really ever stays the same. And I like to be part old school, part new school. I guess you could say that.
So I hear, it's, I have to say, I mean, doing it in some, everything works for the person, each person their own way,
Mm-hmm.
And for me, this is how it's working, for somebody else, it might be different, but that's like one thing that's great. It's that I can do this, and, I found a way of doing it, and finding out to research and do some work into it, not just like be like, okay, whatever, like writing, looking, you know, diving deeper in than I would probably normally do otherwise.
Well, I gotta tell you, you've shown me a little bit of these books that you're working on, and I have to. I rarely ever use this word, but I'm really impressed with that.
Thank you.
It because the way that you're doing it, you found a system that works specifically for you, and you're doing a wonderful job at that. And I'm hoping maybe somebody who might be watching this right now, or a couple weeks from now, they hear about this system that you're working on, as far as being able to learn what you're learning. Maybe they might contact you and say, "Hey, can you show me what you're doing? Because I would like to do the same thing."
Well, absolutely. Anybody has any questions or anything, any person that's just starting, you know, I will help any way that I can. So, I mean, it's the best way that, what they say, knowledge isn't, it's like, knowledge isn't anything if you keep it, or something like that. If you don't give it away to others and you don't share your knowledge, then what's the point of it? To be
You're
able
absolutely
to,
right.
Yeah.
and for whatever I know, it's bits and pieces, and they all add up to something. And that's what's helping me.
And I can tell you from personal experience, it is a great feeling being able to share some of the knowledge that I've been able to gather to other people out there, knowing that it's going to help them in some way. It's a great feeling, great gratification for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe I can be able to work with Scott on that one.
Oh, I doubt it. No, you will. I feel like I'm gonna fall off my chair, dude. Again, I'm a little dude, man.
What, your booster seat slipping on you?
I think I need your high chair.
Well,
You should have been in it.
yeah. Okay. A few months ago, Courtney, you made a post. This one here really got to me. Um, and it was about, I think you were supposed to go to the Hinsdale house,
Yes.
and you had made a comment that you felt like you weren't ready yet. And I forget what all you said on there. It was a very touching read. And what what made you decide that you weren't quite ready for it?
There were a couple of things. That first of all would have been my first investigation.
Right.
For myself, going to the Hinsdale house, which is like the most like active, very, very active place. um, I didn't even know a lot of different things. I wasn't prepared emotionally, mentally, physically, just anything. Um, I actually thought like Kat had one thing that I love about my team is that, you know, we talk to each other and nothing is demanded on each other. There's respect for each other. I remember Kat explaining to me about the things that have gone on at the Hinsdale house. And she's like, it's up to you if you want to go. But I'm just also letting you know what you might expect to happen. And she had told me, and I was like, well, I'll let you know. And, I thought about it. And I didn't want my first investigation to be my last. What I mean by that is if I go there and this is 6 hours away from home and something happens and I'm not prepared.
Talking with her is just, it's so.
Right.
If something happened and I wasn't prepared for it, that could, that could be my last investigation. I might be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm not in this for like a cheap thrill or just to like, go like I'm in this for, and I've learned like my feelings for it and my passion that I've had now for this field is I want this to be, like the long haul, not something like, okay, boom, and I'm out. And if things happened that there's something happened to me and I wasn't prepared for it, and then I would say, I'm not going to do this again. And I felt like I had to be prepared in all ways. You know, I understand even the person that has 20 something, 10 something years, anything can happen at any time to anybody with the most experience or not. But for the first time going on my first investigation, I decided that's not the place for me, and I would have to say that, people respected my decision. My team respected my decision. They didn't judge me. They weren't mad, like, or making fun, or they understood, and like I said, respected it. And it made me feel good, like there's no pressure, and I believe that's helped me.
That is awesome, and it's very rare that we come across somebody who has not had their first investigation and they have a chance to do um, a main name place like the Hinsdale House. I mean, everybody knows about this place, so anybody would just jump at the chance to go just to go. But for you to actually say, I'm not ready yet, that speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
That to me, that really speaks volumes, because you're thinking everything through, and you're making sure, like what you were saying, that you are ready mentally, everything else for your first investigation, and that tells me that you got your head on straight. Whereas, anybody out there would just go out there, do whatever, but they're probably not going to get the same kind of experience as you will when eventually you do go out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
And I love that you said right now is not my time. Because
yeah,
like you said, a lot of people will rush into it. They watch shows like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and think, man, I want to do that. And they run and jump into it. But there's more to it than just going out. There's things out there, malevolent and everything, that these new people, they're not ready for that. A lot of people are not ready for that. And you're like, you know what? I'm not ready. I'm waiting until I'm ready. And that is the bravest and best thing anybody could ever do. And
right,
I applaud you more than anything for that.
yeah,
Thank you. I just, like I said, I wasn't ready. There was things I still didn't know. I mean, about, and if something was to happen during the investigation there that I didn't even know, or I mean, no matter that my team is there, but I also had said, like, I could have put if I freaked out or something happened, I can also have put my team in danger.
yeah,
Realizing, not knowing, about what could happen. But it's not just like, for me, I'm speaking for myself, like, your team, you're supposed to respect, trust, listen to, you know, advise, all around, and be in sync together. And even if one person is not in sync, it can throw off everybody else. And I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't ready. It wasn't my time, and I didn't want to put myself or the team through, any of that at that moment in time.
and the fact that they supported your decision and didn't mock you for it, that speaks volumes for the kind of team that you're with as well.
Yeah, it does.
Like I
Yeah,
said, I personally have met everybody except for Chris. I'm waiting on you, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
But I personally have met, I've investigated with Kat on 3 different places. Met with Martha, met with Phil, met and investigated with you.
Yeah.
Your team has it, You guys have that it factor.
Thank you.
And the fact that you guys are so I'm not even sure if there's even a word to describe your guys' team. I mean, you guys are you just have it, and you are very, very lucky to be able to be with them, investigate with them, and do what you do with them.
I agree. I'm
Yeah.
very blessed. Everybody says, or should at least that they have the great, have a great team, and I love our team.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. I'm still sharing this live. So that's why that volume came up when it did. And
Okay.
I forgot I had my media turned up. I thought I had it down. So, um, so obviously by now,
What?
we need to be sponsored by Wendy's.
I'm sorry, dude. They're just there.
And the fact that you're eating nuggets.
I don't want my chicken nuggets. My bad.
I still haven't eaten anything today, and I even got these things today.
Dude, don't do that about spit my
Yeah, dig it.
They're so good though.
What?
They're so good. My bad, guys.
And I can hear you eating,
I apologize. Hold on. Is that better?
Okay, so Courtney, obviously
Yes.
by now you do have a number of investigations under your belt now, right?
Yes. I believe it's 4
Okay.
right now. Um, I went to the cemetery that we went to when we took you when you came. That
Mm-hmm.
was my first.
Really?
Yes. Um, I decided that I want that one to be my first. It was a place that Trinity had been to before, and Phil and Kat, they had caught. It is haunted. There is activity there. But it's in an open place, as you know. The
Yes.
main road is right there.
Mm-hmm.
If I needed to leave or walk away, I wouldn't be trapped. And it was good. you know um I believe my first was might be like light on the light side, where but it has been like my part of my stepping stone.
Okay.
And it was good. And then we went to Letchworth Village. um that place is, oh my god, it's crazy. It's like its little own village. It has like I guess with the hospital, different buildings. But what I when I did, there was one time where I had to remove myself, and I have felt there. I don't know what, not scared, very uneasy feeling in an area, and later on, Kat and Tim Dalton had said that they had gotten an EVP, or they had gotten some kind of thing right over by there. Um, I walked out. That's when Tim was here. Tim Cumber had came to visit us and investigate. Um, and I walked out. I had to leave, and I regrouped myself. And Tim came out, checked on me, and I was good. And I ended up coming back in. And I believe, and again, nobody judged me. Nobody said you have to stay. Nobody said that, or made fun. They respected my choice. They respected my decision. They helped me with it.
And that's
And
where it should be.
that encouragement was so much to me that it meant a lot, that no matter that I felt uncomfortable, that I regrouped and grounded myself and was able to come back in. And, you know, sometimes I've learned, learning, and I've been told sometimes you just need to do that. If you feel off about a location or about a place, don't be embarrassed to say, I have to leave for a minute. And again, wanting to be in this field for the long haul instead of, just, you know, cheap thrill or just real quick, I did what I had to do for myself. I'm glad that I did it. And it's made it easier to investigate. And if there is a problem that I don't have to, I can leave and take myself out of that situation. So that was a big one. Uh I did the Conjuring House
Oh,
overnight.
That's the one everybody wants to do.
yeah.
And that place, Beyond the Grave, had invited us and we went, and it was a great experience. Um, I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I had all, I, I don't know. It was weird because everybody's like, the Conjuring House, And because of that, I didn't go to Hinsdale, I think because that I've been preparing myself, that the fear is mostly in my head, not actually, there. I mean, don't get me wrong, that place is active. I mean, we have got so many responses and activity and communication. Um, but I did it, and I was like, wow,
And that's just awesome.
yeah. I was like, wow. I'm like, I can, I'm learning that fear is more of the mindset, but you need to still prepare yourself, as much as you can.
And and the fact that you even realize this, um, with only having less than a handful of investigations under your belt, that is a testament to how smart you really are, and how well you understand yourself, knowing whether or not you can be able to do this or not.
Yes, thank you.
And the fact that you have such a great support system, especially um, when you had to take yourself out of the location, and they came out and supported you, and not try to coach you back in or whatever. Um, that's just awesome. It really is.
Yeah, no,
And
I
that's what
definitely
that's
have a
what we
great,
need in this field too.
absolutely. I mean, I do have a great support system, and I have friends that have become family, you know, in this field, and that are there, that support me, that are willing to help me, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. And I, at first I was like in my head, I was like, oh, I'm like, can't believe I felt like, and nobody said anything, and it was great. It was a great feeling that you have support.
Mhm.
And I think that's one thing with investigating, if you get overwhelmed, you know, and you're like, man, if I walk out, I'm not saying all teams, because like Things and Trinity and there are a lot of teams out there that just will support all their, all their investigators and stuff. But at times, man, you're like, if I walk out, I look weak. And that's not what it's about. It's really about protecting yourself more than anything and knowing your limits. And that's what I love about you, Courtney. You knew your limit, you waited to start investigating, and when you felt ready, you jumped into it. When you felt uncomfortable, you took yourself out of that situation, regrouped yourself, went back in, and then you went on to do the Conjuring House. I mean, holy crap, dude, that is just amazing and awesome. I mean,
It is. With the
dude,
reputation
That was
that
awesome.
it has.
I need to go with you so I can learn more, and that's honest. Even as somebody who's been in a while, you might have done it for a long time, but it doesn't mean you know everything. And like you said, we're always learning, man. We're
Right.
always learning.
Always, like I was always told, when you're learning things, like to be a sponge, to soak up everything, to always remain to be teachable. It doesn't matter how long, the first person, like a newcomer coming in, can help somebody that's been there for years as an experience, as somebody that's years of experience can help the newcomer. We are all together as one if we allow each other, and let go of ego and being able to support and build each other up instead of tearing each other down.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because I see that too often. People do tear each other down, or even just they target a specific person, and that's not what we need. That's not what this is about. Um, and I feel fortunate that you've supported my team. I'm very grateful for that. Really am. You've been one of our biggest supporters, if not the biggest supporter.
Well, you guys, your team, have supported me from the beginning. I owe so much to you guys. I Besides my team, if it wasn't for you guys and things and everybody, I don't know if I would be right where I am now. And taking no matter, yeah, I am shy. Believe it or not, I am shy. I'm
I am too.
extremely shy. And I I remember, it's to be able to feel like it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to want to know, and don't forget that. Kind of like always, no matter how long that, you know, from when I started till now into everything, it's like, remember where you came from. Remember where you started. I will always remember, and that's what will help me, I think, do well in this field,
Yeah.
is to remembering my why.
I'm sitting here and I'm looking over the chats, and everybody, I mean, just the way they talk about you. And I want you to know,
I
no, it's amazing. They all, I mean, the high props they give you. And Brent and Emma from BE Paranormal, she's like, Emma says, "You've given me the guts to take a break when things get too much in an investigation." She says, "Thank you," and said, "Not to be embarrassed if I get scared." That is the effect that you have on people. Is
Yeah.
is that the courage and the influence that you have on people, whether you see it or not, you do, and you make people stronger. And you have that ability to make them feel, hey, if I'm uncomfortable, that's okay. If I get scared, that is okay. And you're having that effect on people, and that is amazing.
Awesome.
It is.
I love them. I love Brett and Emma
Yes.
to pieces. They're like so selfless and amazing people.
And the fact that you admit that you need to take yourself out of a location because of how you were feeling, where like what Scott was saying, makes him think that he's weak when really it's the complete opposite, that you're really strong for admitting that you need to get out of the location for a little bit. Um, that just makes you stronger.
Thank you. You know, like I said, I want to. When I first started in this, I was intrigued. Everything was interesting. Then everything kind of became interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have found my passion.
It's good.
And if I want to continue like I want to, I have to realize there's always might be a situation, but I don't want to come across to a situation where I feel uncomfortable and stay just because I'm going to feel like I'm being judged, or that or I can't, or even judging myself. Like, why aren't you going to stay? You know, protecting myself and being able to continue doing what I'm doing and wanting to go for more. That's how I felt, about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you keep going in the direction that you have been going, it's only going to get bigger and better for you, and it's going to be easier. But I don't want to make it sound like it's just going to be like a walk in the park.
Hmm.
Um, but definitely, if you stay on the path that you're going, um, it's going to get so much better for you. And you think people look up to you now. Think of what it's going to be like 5 years from now.
Hmm.
And as
I
it stands right now, I'd say that you are a good role model for
Absolutely.
anybody that is in the process of breaking into the field, or want to get into the field but they don't know how, or they might be a little nervous about doing it. You'd be a great role model for them to help them make that next step.
No, absolutely
Thank
agree.
you.
Yeah. um, so tell I'd like to hear more about the interactions with you and Trinity. I know you probably don't get to hang out with all of them um, at the same time. I do know that you and Kat hang out together sometimes. What about
Yes.
Martha, Phil?
Martha, yeah, I actually I haven't seen her in a while, but how I first met Martha wasn't even from the paranormal. It was because of her business, and that's actually how I met her at the bar that she owns. And you know, um, she's she's very selfless. She's an amazing person, and also on the team, like it just her insides are like match everything. She is just a beautiful soul that is so giving and wanting to help, and that's the part I haven't seen it. I haven't been really. I was on residential. I did go do my first residential also, but you could see how compassionate she is with the client. and seeing that, it just makes me want to be better, and looking at the different traits of all of us that they have and what they do and their strengths combined makes me want to be be better. We all are different, but we're all together like for the same purpose and the same passion and just wanting to help.
You talk about compassion, and as I'm sitting here listening to you and watching you, you have that same compassion that she does. I mean, I'm not even next to you, and I literally feel it and see it. I mean, your compassion for what you do and how you went about it. I mean, that Trinity Paranormal and you were the best mix ever. I mean, it was fate.
Yeah, I thank you. We all of us together are just wonderful to see. Like I've never been on a team, so I can't compare or anything like that. But I'm proud to be on my team. We are predominantly residential based team, Christian team, and it's great seeing, wanting, like Kat. Oh my God. Just talk about compassion and determination to help, to get answers. She doesn't stop. I call her, like, times I'm like, she's like the ghost whisperer. And
I can believe that.
she is. And I feel it's because one thing that Kat has taught me, and that I've been learning more about, is spirits have no intention. They definitely know your intention. And like with Kat, they know that are her intentions. Her intentions are pure, and it's amazing. Seeing her. These are like my mentors. People, my team. Who Chris is. Just everybody is so amazing, and we don't hang out. We don't hang out. I think the last time we hung out is when you were here. um Me and Kat actually went out the other last week, but we're still connected.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I still
It's
remember
great
how
having a
full
team
I
that
felt after eating that
you
pizza
love.
with you guys. Yeah. Remember that? I was saying I still remember how full I felt after eating that one slice of pizza.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were saying the food from where you guys live from here is
No kidding. But no, really, you couldn't have better mentors or trainers. Like I said, your team has that it factor. So you are. I would say that it is very fortunate that you ended up with them, and vice versa. They ended up with you. Because I mean, think about it. In such a short amount of time, you went from being real quiet and not wanting to talk about your experiences because you didn't want people to think that you're crazy, even though
yes.
we all are for doing what we do,
Yes.
especially the guy there in the middle.
But what? I'm not crazy. I don't care what anybody says, including that Scott Smith. That guy, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I still can't believe I called you Smith last week.
You did call me Scott Smith last week, didn't you?
Uh-oh.
There's a fly
The
going
grumpy
around
one?
my head. It's going to land right there. I'm not lying, dude. Okay.
I believe you. But in such a short amount of time, you went from being I don't want to say afraid, but to where you didn't want to speak about your experiences because people would think that you're crazy, and all of a sudden you became moderator for Trinity, and now
And a zillion other. I think there's like 21. I think I think it's now 21 groups that I'm a
Holy moly.
moderator for.
and and just think about that they want you to be the moderator. I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
And now you're taking another step forward to working on being a full-fledged investigator. You are
Yes.
working your way up, and we
Very
all
true.
see that from where we all see that from a distance. You are working your way up. You are putting in the work. Um, Most people wouldn't even know how to go about doing that. But you're putting in the work by creating a system that works for you. And I think that's just awesome.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. I mean, I think that's really the only way that it can be done, because it has to work for you, because something that you're going to want to do, something you're going to you know want to research, and that you want to learn from, and you have to have your own system, or because this is what you're doing for yourself. And
Right.
I'm just blessed that I have just a really good support, you know um people in my life in this field that have helped me.
And we're all blessed to have you a part of us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, just from my team alone, we have two of you, but you were the first moderator for our group page who was not in our group.
Okay.
And
Got you.
from what I've been hearing, that's not the first time that's happened. That you were the first person outside of a group to be a moderator or admin to their group page.
Yeah, I think, it's like I said, I try to support, and I want to see others, you know do well, and get the support that they need, you know and to help. And it's like so many times I'll be like, oh, I remember what you got. I'm like, am I gonna mess up? Am I gonna, I don't know what I'm doing. And finding a way. I mean, I can't. I'm every group I try to do something in. If it's small or you know. But it's just, I'm just happy. Like, I want to help, and that's all. And to help anybody, and it's great. Like, kind of like, because I hate at times, like for myself, like I don't take what am I gonna say, compliments or anything. Like, I don't like the attention. I hate when it's drawn on me, or anything. And you know it's nice, but it's, sometimes I don't realize how much of an impact I have on people. where I'm like, I'm a nobody, or nobody's going to watch, or nobody's going to care. I'm like, how many times did I say, I'm like, I don't know how the show is going to be. I'm not important, enough, or I'm not, you know, this big person or whatever. But then realizing that, there are a lot of people that support what I'm doing and appreciate what I do for them as well. And it's amazing. It really is.
And after hearing your story, what you've been doing, now a lot of people are going to be looking up to you and even coming to you for advice.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
The-
there's a lot of people out there that don't want to take, credit and stuff, and talking to you on the phone last night, you were so down to earth and so humble, and and just talking about you being nervous and everything, and and
so
dude,
nervous.
and I told you would be so amazing and great, and you're proving that. I mean, people have so much trust in you. I mean, the way you just talk, it's a soft, you have a soft voice, you know, dude, you're absolutely, yes. Crystal says you're killing it. Absolutely. I mean, you're so amazing, dude. You should take some notes, Jeremy.
That's not nice.
I love you, dude. I'm just gonna drink my Coke.
Thank you.
So think of it this way: because of everything that you've been doing, whether you realize it or not, um, you are working yourself up into being a leader in this field, in this industry. And I personally think that you can teach a lot of people, um, not only your way, but maybe help people realize or develop a system that works for them,
Hmm.
for them to take the same steps that you are to get to where you're at right now, and even further.
Absolutely. I wouldn't mind, everybody has to find their own way of doing things. And, I don't mind helping at all. And, what works for me might not work for you, but, you know, I believe, at least, sharing what I know, or like my experience, or,
Mm-hmm.
what has happened and gotten me from point A to point B now. And that I've changed so much from the beginning to now. I've learned so much, and it's great because I will always keep learning. But I don't want, like, if I can, like, I'm just glad and I'm just happy that people never really discouraged me.
That's good.
And where some people have been discouraged, and I feel
Yep.
bad, and I see it at times, people coming in, and sometimes they're discouraged, or they have questions. And like, I think sometimes, like, people realize, like I said from the beginning, remember your why. Remember when you first started
Mhm.
doing this, because some people get so caught up with everything going on and investigations, and not realizing why they did this in the first place.
Right.
you know and how can I help somebody? And I stress that, because for myself, I do the things I do for others are like things that I want done for me, and but not say actually having it done, because it doesn't always happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want, you know, if I want support, I support others. If I want, not, I do to others like as I would want done, like for myself. I don't get it back the same way, and that's fine, and I'm fine with that. But to me, what I'm doing is making a difference for myself and hearing, from others as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself,
No, you're absolutely
but
right.
it's the
You're
truth.
doing just fine.
You talking about the why, and I retired for a while, and I forgot about the why, get back into it. And the last two investigations that I've been on with Jeremy and things paranormal reminded me of that. Jeremy brought that back. Tim Coomer brought that back to me. The passion that they have, I forgot about, you know, stepping away like I did. And the excitement from it and all that, these guys brought that back to me because I totally forgot what it was like. And I understand that why.
Yeah, I don't know, I think it helps, just if you remember why you started doing this,
Mm-hmm.
you can get more out of it. You know, um, like investigating for me, um, isn't really, just about the actually fully like investigating. It's like the sidelines, it's the background. Like, what else are you doing? Like, I mean, I went to, I remember on residential before, I didn't go on it, but to do it beforehand, we get the deeds to the location. So we went to the county clerk and, and I got to see how to go and get a deed to the location. There are so many things that I've learned, not just from investigating, not the investigating itself, but the backgrounds of it. There's more work into it than just you go investigate, you listen to evidence. But I've learned that there's so much more, you know, different protocols and looking up things and trying to find out why, um, where people have been, how long they've been in a location, and that can also help you more when you get your evidence to get some clarity. And, I love that. I love research. And I never thought I would actually like research, and I actually love it. I love actually going and doing it and trying to find out. I'm like, when me and Kat went, we were like, okay, this year we have to go to the next book and get the next one, and actually doing the work, it's amazing. To me,
So,
it's not just the actual going on the investigation and, catching evidence or an EVP or, anything like that. It's wanting to help and wanting to get answers. You know, to me, the client and spirits need a voice. They need to know what's going on. Spirits have a story. It's up to us if we want to listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So, if I was wanting to get into, let's say I was a new person wanting to get into investigation, what kind of advice would you give me before I start doing paranormal stuff? Sorry.
Um, Research, lots and lots of research. Know what you might know what in learn what you might occur. That might happen when you're out there. Get down to basics. You know, um, Talk to people, pick their brains, but make your own decisions. Don't just because this one said it's done, that it's gospel. It's not. Like, everybody does it their own way. You know, make your own decisions for yourself. Research everything that you can. Like I said, be a sponge. Soak up everything that you can, so you're prepared for when anything happens, or that you just know what is going on. And that's basically it.
No, I absolutely agree. Research is so important
It
before
is.
going anywhere.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience that I suck at research. Tim and I have actually tried it one time, and it did not go over very well at all for either one of us. Um, but no, you are right. When it does come to doing research, if you find um, a way of researching that works out for you, then yeah, you do very well at that. You'd be surprised what you're actually like doing when it's a part of something that you have a passion for.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah. What do you guys got?
Got a fly going around my head. Sorry, no, I'm just, it's like last week with Robert. I mean, I'm listening to Courtney and I'm just in awe. Um, like Courtney said, we all are different, but man, she's so humble, man, and she might not sound like she's confident, but and I'm not saying you're not, but you so are. I mean, everything
Yeah.
radiates from you is confidence. I mean, it's just awesome.
Thank you. I don't feel it all the time, but being honest, sometimes I feel like, what do I have to offer as a new person? And talking to you guys, like, and just even, that somebody is willing to listen, listen, you know, um, to be there, if somebody is looking for guidance or anything, don't shut them out. Be
Well, I can
patient.
definitely tell you, for being a deaf guy, I'm loving hearing your story.
Thank you.
So,
Hey, absolutely, man.
I so many people that have been on my path, I'm there's some people might know, some people might not know, but they had I think it was I can't remember it right now. Skip that. um but they have people, I'm sorry, people try to be there for you. And in this field, I have learned not everybody is your friend. Not everybody wants you to succeed. And to me, I just try to do the best that I can do and not go for the drama. And you find your people. You find the ones who are going to support you, that are going to be there for you. And you stick with them.
mhm.
It's not about being Miss Popular or Mr. Popular. Who's got this? Who's got that? It's about being yourself, and for me, helping out and doing what I can, it's an amazing thing, and I don't know, I have a lot of gratitude, things, you guys have always been there for me. Paranormal United Network has been there for me. Trinity, there's so many teams, Ghost Hunt Down, Be Paranormal. These are also groups that I'm admin and moderate for as well. You know, you have to, for me, you have to find your niche and where you are and what works for you, and to remember there are people that will help you, and it's okay to ask for help, and not to be afraid.
I
You
love
know,
that you just said that.
Yeah.
What?
I love that you just said that. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
No,
That is
I
absolutely.
I have to, because I was afraid in the beginning. I was like, or nobody's gonna want to help. Why am I gonna ask? And there are so many people that are willing to help you. And even if there are, even like speaking for like to a newcomer coming in, even if you get discouraged and you have people that put you down, or that you have people that that aren't on your side, doesn't mean that everybody is going to be the same way. And just, I would say more so, just be yourself, ask for help, and remember that we're not alone. We're all in this together,
Yes, we
and
are.
together we can make a difference if we allow it.
Absolutely. That is a. I'm speechless.
I know. I was like,
um, that is a great thing to say. I mean that's like the perfect attitude to have. And I've gone through a lot of those same experiences that you have. Realizing that not everybody is going to be a friend. There's some people not going to want to see you succeed. I've seen it, so I know exactly how that feels. But the fact that you are not letting it discourage you and you are still moving forward, that's just great.
absolutely.
Thank you. You can't just let if you let everybody, or certain people try to tear you down, you can't, you have to not feed into it,
Right.
not that let them win and not discourage you, because again, going back to why, I'm not here for a popularity contest. I
Right.
know that people like me. I know a lot of people like me, but I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm not here to wonder if it's gonna, if I'm gonna do something like that's great, or if it's not. I'm here because of my why. And I know, like, I repeated it, but it goes back to basics. Goes back to the beginning of, why are you in here? Are you here for the drama? Are you here for everything else? Or are you here to learn? Are you here for your passion? You know, to want to do better, to want to communicate, to find ways of doing this. And realize that and stay with that and forget that a person. Like, I hear so much Facebook drama and bullshit, excuse me, you know, but it's, forget about it. Forget about that person. You know, they, months, years later, that person's going to be like, who's that person? You know, what are they not doing? You know, they're not my life, and I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, so don't let anybody discourage you.
Absolutely not. And I think you're doing a wonderful job at being able to keep going on. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If anybody else comes at you, try to discourage you, come to me. I'll set them straight for you.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
I'm not letting anybody do that to me.
That's
You
good.
know, this field there's so much to do in this field,
Yes, there is.
and I'm not going to let anybody discourage me for learning or investing my time to want to help.
Well, I'll tell you what. This field needs somebody like you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So,
Because you will help this field grow more than you know.
yes. And it's been shown you have helped this field in many ways. You've helped many teams, my team especially, and Trinity is very lucky to have you.
She's
Thank you.
helped this podcast.
I'm happy to have them too.
Yeah. So, do you have any final words before we wrap up tonight?
No, I think I've said everything. Honestly, you know, I've repeated myself a couple of times, but that's just my strength of how, I guess, my passion of how I feel it, you know, about it.
Right.
It's, you know, I just appreciate the opportunity that you guys gave me, you know, to do this. And finally I said yes, and I conquered my fear.
We appreciate it for
Yeah.
you allowing us to be your first podcast. I mean,
That's an honor.
that is an honor in itself.
Yeah. It is.
Well, you're welcome. We're all family, so
Yes,
it's
we
great.
are.
Yes.
Yeah, I get to be the big brother.
Yes.
Yeah. Big Scott.
Big Scott. I like that.
Okay. So we'll call Scott Smith Little Scott then.
Hey, that's right.
My bestie, Scott Smith, my bestie.
Okay. Well, we will go ahead and tell you good night, Courtney. And Scott and I will go into our final thoughts. And we will talk to you later, okay?
Listening to us.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
Courtney.
for being on this show. It
You're
has
welcome.
been an honor. It's been a privilege.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okie dokie.
All right. Bye. Wow.
Dude, it's amazing. I
It
mean,
was.
you can't get more genuine than that, you know?
No.
I mean, we're lucky, you know, to have her pick us as her first podcast and to explain how she went about how she got ready to join the paranormal field and do an investigation, dude. It's absolutely amazing.
It is, and her story I know is going to touch so many people out there, especially ones that are wanting to break into the field but not sure how to go about it. Her story is just going to be a major inspiration for a lot of people out there.
Absolutely. And we're going to have that story.
Yeah.
And people ever need it, they can always, they want to watch it come to us. Go to Courtney, talk to Courtney. I mean, she has such a great heart, dude. And the things that she does for all these paranormal teams and supports them and promotes them. I mean, it's amazing. And, and Trinity is a great team, and to have her part of that team, dude, that's just so
makes me
amazing.
better. Yeah. Having Courtney on that team, it just makes them that much better. And the fact that so many other teams want her to help moderate or admin, that's just a testament to what how people feel about her.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I'm honored that she picked us as her first podcast. Knowing how nervous she was, she said, yes, I will come and do your podcast. And dude, that's amazing. So awesome.
It really is amazing. And I'm just honored that she did say yes. So.
I am too.
And the fact that she is a part of the Pun TV, she is the management of the moderation team. So she's going to be teaching people how to go through and be moderators, not only for us, but for other groups as well.
And that's her knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, she's going to be sharing that knowledge and that power.
So, all right, that time is up pretty much. Next week, stay tuned. Next week, 7 p.m. This is going to be a really exciting show. We have Toy Smith from the Paranormal Help Desk. And we will not only be talking to her about what she does in the field, which it in itself is awesome, but she has also created the Paranormal Relief Project, which I myself am one of the directors of, and I feel very fortunate to be a part of that. And we're going to be talking about that quite a bit as well next week, and I am very excited for that one. Again, our guest next week is Toy Smith from the Paranormal Help Desk and also the Paranormal Relief Project.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. It's going to be so awesome. So awesome.
Yes, it is going to be very awesome. So thank you, everybody who has tuned in to watch this. I also want to thank Courtney as well. Great guest. And now I know she's going to have 100 different people asking her to be on their podcast.
You better be ready, Courtney.
Yeah.
We got you.
So remember, if it's paranormal or beyond,
we got it covered.
Yes, we do.
Have a great night, everybody.
See you guys next week.